Alright, I'm going to quickly go over everything that we've done so far. We created cards as a class. We created a class of a standard deck, which is a list of our cards. We created a method called shuffle. We created a method called deal. We created an instance of standard deck called deck. We called the shuffle method, which shuffled self. And we did deck.deal, which is a method of standard deck. If you're following along, you should have just one file, this file right here. That's this over here. Over on my left, I do have this file, which you can find on my GitHub. This file is the completed code, well, completed in quotations because I'm actually working on cleaning it up right now. If you look, it is 1,400 lines of code, and that's too much. So what I should have done is something called modulation, and I've learned this recently because I'm still learning. So what I'm going to do actually is get this class card, and I'm gonna put it in its own file, and I'm gonna do the same thing with, well, standard deck will go in that file with card, and then I'll put player in its own file, I'll put game in its own file, and I'll put these methods, actually some of them, like all the deal methods, I'll put them in their own file. And what I'll do is I'll just import the files to each other, and that's basically modulation. So we don't have 1,400 lines of code, we just have maybe like 100 or 200 lines of code for one class or related classes or related methods. So I'm going to open up this file in Windows Explorer. And this honestly should be the only file that you have. In my directory, I do have the finished code. You can get that too and open that up. But in this video series, we've only gotten up to this point. And if you're following along with me, this is all you really need in your directory. But I'm going to do this right now, and you should do this as well, is just copy this and paste it in the same directory, and we're going to call this cards, and it's going to be cards.py. Let's open that up in PyCharm or whatever IDE you have. And as you can see, it's right up here. I'm going to bring this over here. So these two files are the same exact thing, as you can see. But we are going to get rid of this main over here. And now we have cards, a card module on the left, and we have our main document on the right. So what I can do now is just delete everything on our main, and I can just import. Here, let's see. So I can just I can say from cards import deck, and now we've modulated. We have all our code for cards and standard deck and all its methods, including shuffle and deal, made on this file. and we can import it to our main file and just grab the deck that's being made right here. It's being made and we just import it. Now on our main, since we got rid of all that clutter, now we can just play with the deck. We can say print deck, and I'm gonna run it over here. As you can see, it just prints the list of cards, all 52 in order, not shuffled. And I did that in this file, only having 2 lines of code, importing it and then printing it. So this is a way to clean up your code, and I'm going to, from now on, try to modulate everything so that you don't end up with this mess here that I have, and you'll be able to use and work with the code a lot easier. So actually, I'm just going to keep this video short and just say this video is going to be on modulation, and I think that's important to be aware of when you're starting to learn how to code, to keep things clean.